So, team, good evening, everyone, and greetings as well. I hope my screen is visible for all of you. Please let me know if it's not visible. I can quickly reconnect this, reshare it again.
It's visible, Nikhil.
It's visible. Lovely. Thank you. And team, I hope that I am audible, loud, and clear as well. A quick thumbs up if everything is fine. Great. Lovely. Thank you. All right. So team, greetings, everyone. Welcome to the webinar on enhancing your project management skills or project management knowledge with the power of PRINCE2 and PMP. So before I begin the session, before we begin this particular webinar, let me very quickly tell you in brief about myself. Team, my name is Nikhil Mudgi, and I have more than 19 years of experience. And yes, I have got an opportunity to play different roles like a project management consultant, service management consultant, contributed not just into IT, but across various non-IT ecosystems as well. I am an accredited trainer for ITIL, for PRINCE2, PMP, Scaled Agile. Then I have developed some of my own learning modules as well for GenAI for project management and some of the others as well. So this is in brief about me. And so team, what is that we are going to discuss as part of this particular webinar, where we can focus in terms of achieving the success for your project management with the combination of PRINCE2 and PMP. To begin with, we'll in a very brief manner, let's understand what is that project management all about. I'm sure many of you might be aware of it, but for those who are not aware of it, very quickly, in couple of lines, I'm going to talk about it. Then I'll give you an overview about what is PRINCE2 and what is PMP all about. And when I talk about the overview, I'll also include the examination aspects as well as part of it. Okay. And we'll also talk about how we can integrate, how we can. I mean, I'll give you an context about how, if you can use the concepts of PRINCE2 and PMP, how it's going to be value added in our organization today. And last but not the least, and towards the end of the session, I'm going to open for questions as well. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just read a message in the chat that my voice is very low. Is it the same for everyone, or is it only for Irpinda? I'm not sure.
No, not for everyone.
Sorry, am I audible? So sorry, can you quickly reconfirm, please?
Audible and clearly and loud.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you. All right, so Arpinda, probably could be some network issues. You can try rejoining, and hopefully that might fix the challenges what you might be having. All right. Okay, Steam. Many of you might have heard about this particular term, project, right? So what is that particular project all about? So yes, project, as we call it, is a very it's a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or a result, right? It could be, for example, you want to plan for a vacation, or you want to plan a party at home, or you want to organize some lunch, dinner, or you want to transition from one ecosystem to another ecosystem, building a house, anything anything where you produce a unique business change, that's where a project can come in, right? And as part of projects, no wonder, right? We have been I mean, we have to manage the time factor, cost factor, benefits, scope, risk, and changes. And if I have to add, in today's world, it is all about the sustainability parameters as well, right? So that is where project adds a good amount of value. So sorry, Mayuri, you raised your hand. Anything you wish to say? Okay. All right. I guess that was by mistake. Okay, no worries. All right, so team, we have to manage all of these particular factors: benefits, cost, risk, scope, timelines, and cost factor as well. And let's not forget about sustainability, right? So considering all of these particular factors, what we have, we need a very good project management methodologies in place. And there are many of them. There are many of them who are offering you a lot of project management certifications. But two of the globally recognized certification, that is one from PMP, one is from PMI, the Project Management Institute, where they're offering you the Project Management Professional certification. And you also have a People Cert. Earlier, it was with Axelos, but yes, you have currently People Cert, who is providing you the Prince2 and Prince2 Agile as well. Right, so team, now, a lot of people might be thinking that, okay, how project management is going to add value in today's world. And I've tried my best to keep things very simple. I've tried to keep it very simple. Now, in today's world, if you see how, today we are talking about digital transformation, right? Digital transformation includes some of technologies like cloud, machine learning, AI, or quantum computing, 3D printing, right? So there are a lot of new technologies which has come up, and the architectures or the complexity what we have in today's environment has become very, very complex. Everything has become very complex. Now, what is, probably you automate tasks. You probably want to automate something as part of your organization, right? That can be considered as a project. But for the next client, the same kind of automation might be required. So, and when you automate, do you want to automate with AI, without AI? Right? If you want to do without AI, you can bring in the cultures of robotic process automation. If you want to bring in AI, yes, you can bring in AI along with Gen AI, all of these particular factors as well. Talk about blockchain, talk about different technologies has been used not just in one industry, but across various industries. You talk about construction, you talk about healthcare, you talk about insurance. IT, forget IT, so anyways, will be there by default. So, and every organization has realized the project management is no more, a very tactical in nature. It's no more tactical in nature. I have always believed that, project management has become, in today's world, a very strategic competency every organization will look out for. Right. So you might be playing the role of a project manager or a program manager, project assistant, project director, or whatsoever the roles. I'm sure directly or indirectly, you are handling one or more than one projects as well. So that's the reason in today's world, it's not just the project management what we have. We have started moving into the project portfolio management. That is how strategically every project is getting aligned into. It's not project program management. It's more of a project portfolio management. That's how things are heading into. And that's where the strategic competency is very important today, even as part of your projects. Now, considering the sustainability factor, sustainability is where we are thinking about the future by doing very effectively today, right? So we are not thinking only about the profits in today's world. We are thinking about how we can save the environment, how we can add more value for the careers, or for the social factors, for the economic factors, for the environmental factors. Right, so sustainability has also become a very important today. And if you follow sustainability very closely, every country, they are trying to bring in their own compliance factors, legal factors as well. Right, so even there you need project management. Right, so. And let's not forget about the actual words which we keep on talking: waterfall, agile, and all those things, right? So project management is required everywhere. So there could be other factors which might be contributing towards project management, but I feel that these are the most important ones. So the two buzzwords which we have been hearing many a times, and there has been a lot of confusions many a times as well, right? Which one should I do? Should I go for PMP? Should I go for Prince2? Right? I'm sure this is one particular aspect which many of you might be having. And team, I'll try to simplify all of these particular things so that down the line it's going to be easier for you to decide, which program is going to be value added for me. Now, I'll talk about Prince2 and then I'll come to PMP. But yes, Prince2, it started way back in 1980s as well by the UK government, and today it has been 4 years back it was with Axelos, and now PeopleCert has acquired Axelos, and PeopleCert are the governing body. So Prince2 stands for Projects in Controlled Environment. 2 is nothing but the version 2, right? The second version of it. Now, and when I talk, and now when we talk about Prince2 team, it is very much of a process driven, right? It is very process driven as well, because it will tell you as a project manager, if you are starting a project, okay, before you start the project in detail as well, what are the high level requirements you need to capture? If you have any challenges, whom should you look out for support as well, right? So all of these particular things is wonderfully addressed as part of Prince2. I'll give you a small example based on my experience when we talk about the Prince2 and the PMP aspects in the upcoming sections. But yes, it is very much of a process driven, right? And you, as part of the Prince2, you have 7 processes, 7 principles, 7 themes, or currently it is also called as 7 practices, right? So these 3 things will help you to tailor your project environment in a very effective and efficient manner. Right now, talking about the certification, I'll go in depth of it when I talk about the relevant sections, but don't worry. But talking about the certifications, you have 2 levels of certifications in terms of Prince2, that is Prince2 Foundation and Prince2 Practitioner. And thankfully, with Prince2 Foundation, you have no prerequisites as such, but for Practitioner, there are some prerequisites, which I'm going to touch base on it in the upcoming sections again. Now, talking about the PMP, right? So team, PMP, this is one word, more than Prince2, everybody starts focusing on, right? So PMP is very much, globally recognized as well. No wonder there. But as part of PMP team, it has been provided by a project management institute. It's not just a PMP which they provide PMI, ACP, which is the agile version as well. So, and the other programs as well. Now, a good thing about PMP is, again, they are also, rather than saying just a knowledge-based approach, at least in today's world, team, I have started seeing that they have moved into a principle-based approach, right? So earlier, at least in 6th edition, we did not have that much of principles which they used to focus. But now, at least in the 7th edition, the principles, the simplicity, what they have brought in is also wonderful, right? So another challenging aspects which I keep on hearing a lot from various stakeholders, right? So team, that is like Prince2 is very much of only for non-IT and PMP is for IT. I'm so sorry, I tend to differ on that. Right. So both of them, be it Prince2, be it be it PMP as well, both are very much applied in any context, of your project, right? There is no hard and fast rule saying that you should not apply PMP in not in the other environments at all. So as per my awareness, Prince2 as a project management framework has been used in a lot of global events as well, including Olympics, including the FIFA, including the Cricket World Cup, right? So PRINCE2 as a project management has been successfully used there. Now, PMP is very much, though both of them are globally recognized, but I'm sure one important thing which all of you will acknowledge is if you are working in more of European countries or Australia or certain elements of New Zealand as well, PRINCE2 is definitely going to be value added, right? But if I talk about PMP, it is more value added in North Americas, right? So that's where it is very much value added, right? So let's understand, how both of them can sync with each other in the upcoming sections, but I don't want to waste too much of time here. I'll add more pointers when I come to those particular aspects, right? So team, if you as a project management profession, I mean, if you can combine these two things, PRINCE2 and PMP, trust me, it is definitely going to add a good amount of value to your organization as well. Now, this is where I'm going to tell about my experience in terms of how I can use project management considering PRINCE2 and for PMP as well. So firstly, let's begin with PRINCE2. All right, so team, now PRINCE2 there are both the versions are actively going on. The 6th edition we have it, and the 7th edition as well. 7th edition is the latest one. So if you see, pretty much everything is the same, very much similar as well. Now we have the processes of PRINCE2 and we have the processes in 7th edition as well. Instead of themes of PRINCE2 7, we call it as practices in PRINCE2. Right, and instead of, principles also remains the same. No changes at all. So earlier, the 6th edition, what you used to say was, let me design my focus, let me design my project environment. Now, the 7th edition focuses on emphasizing that without the support of people, when I say people, those who are involved as part of the project and those who will be impacted because of the project as well. So they have considered the bigger picture now, and they have defined the project context, the processes, the principles, and the practices. Now, team, these are the 7 principles, 7 processes, and 7 themes or practices of PRINCE2. Now, using this, let me give you a small idea about how you can execute a project. Now, for the simplicity, team, I'm going to take a very simple scenario, which is one of my favorite as well. And I try to bring in project management in whatever I do. Okay, whatever I do, I try to bring in my project management. Now, first and foremost thing, principles. Now, principles, they are going to protect you in every manner. You will have to follow these 7 principles, else it's been said that you are not doing a PRINCE2 project. Okay, but my observation here is, knowingly or unknowingly, every project will have a you will be addressing all the 7 principles here. How? Let me give you a small example here. All right. So first and foremost thing, if you see that ensure continued business justification. So at the very beginning of the project, you need to evaluate, hey, should I go for a vacation? Should I not? Right? Is it really required for me? If it is required, how much of money I need to spend? Right? If there is any risk, how do I address it? Right? How do I ensure that my vacation is going to be good from the beginning till the end? Right? That is the entire project I'm going to consider. Okay. So that is where, I need to keep on addressing the factors of continued business justification. Learn from experience. Whatever the mistake I did in my previous project, or whatever the mistake I might have done, or whatever the lessons I might have learned in my yesterday, I will have to implement them today as well. So learn from experience. Everybody will have to keep on learning from the experience, either from the previous stage or even from the previous project as well. We also need to understand what are the roles, what are the responsibilities and importance of maintaining the relationships as well. Now, yes, probably I'm the customer. Maybe my organizer. I mean, probably let's consider Make My Trip as one of my role, because they are helping me in terms of booking the tickets. I might be having a chauffeur when I go to XYZ location. Now that chauffeur is going to act as, they are going to play certain roles. I might be having some guides and other stakeholders as well. So we will be having some business stakeholders who will be investing money. So which means probably I might be the business here, right? And we might be having some users who will be using the product as well. So since I'm going on a vacation by myself, I'm also become the user. And then we have the sponsor as well, right? So whoever will be providing any kind of resources to enable the project to run, right? So sponsors, not sponsors, suppliers, I'm so sorry, right? Business users and suppliers. Now, when I talk about supplier will give me everything in terms of booking the hotels, booking the flights, and everything. Right. So that is where I need to keep on building some good relationships throughout the course of the project as well. So that's where the third principle comes in. Manage by stages. Probably how long is my vacation? 1 day, 2 day. So 1 day can be a stage, or 1 week can be a stage. If I'm going for 1 year, 1 month can be a stage, 1 week, or anything. So the start and end time, that's where the stages comes in. If something good or bad happens, right? If something good or bad happens, what should I do? Manage my exception, right? And focus on products. End of the day, my project is, I should be getting the result. What is the result? I should be getting that customer satisfaction, my satisfaction, because that is the reason I'm going on a vacation, right? And wherever possible, I'll have to customize it based on the needs and requirements. You see this team, knowingly or unknowingly, you are applying all these 7 principles, which is going to protect you in every manner. Right? These are the 7 principles what we have. Now, talking about the process, within the processes, I'll try to explain the different themes and the practices what we have. Now, we have 7 processes starting up a project. So that's where you need to have all the basic things. For example, now when I say starting up a project, I need to understand what is my problem statement. What is my problem statement? You might be getting the problem statement in the form of a project mandate, or in the form of an RFP, or in any formal or informal manner. So that is how a project is going to trigger, right? For example, I'll say that, hey, I want to have a vacation because it's been a long time since I've been working, and this entire vacation is a project for me. Right? And for this, I will write a business case. For example, business case is a justification document. Right? I'll write a business case, which is a justification document. Should I really need a vacation or not? And that's where you have the continued business justification principle being addressed as well. Right. So within the project, I also need to now within this particular first step of starting up a project, I also need to understand who are my stakeholders. Right? Who are my stakeholders? I have my organization practice coming in, where I can understand who's my project manager, who's my team manager. If there are any challenges, whom should I look out for support? Who will be making any kind of decisions? I need to have a very clear understanding about my entire project management office. Right, so that's where organization team comes in, and the principle which syncs up with that is the defined roles and responsibilities and relationships. Directing a project is where the decision making is going to happen. Probably I alone might not be able to make any kind of decisions. I may have to get in touch with my spouse. I may have to get in touch with my parents. They will also help me in terms of making the decisions, right? Again, decision involves stakeholders, and you need organization theme for that. Again, the third principle comes in. Controlling a stage. In a day, in that particular day, what are the different activities I need to perform? Sure, I need to visit this place. I need to visit that place. And so that is where, controlling a stage comes in, right? Managing stage. And if I have to put that controlling a stage into themes, I need to plan thoroughly. I need to have a very high level plan first. That is my project plan, right? Every day, what I do is my stage plan, right? And if there's anything granular I can go, yes, I can define that as well. So team plans comes in. So plans in progress will contribute a lot there. Managing the stage boundary. Okay. So today, Hey, what went well? What did not? What can I do things better for my next stage, next sprint, next release? Managing stage boundary. What should I do tomorrow? I mean, am I going as per the plan? Or if I have missed out on anything, if I have missed out on any place which I've not visited, can I do it tomorrow? It's okay. One time exception is fine, right? That's where managed by exception also comes in, right? So that can be addressed in all the themes, to be honest, but most importantly in the progress theme, right? Managing product delivery. Now whatever the product you're going to create, that is your product delivery. And that is where the quality theme is going to be quite beneficial, and focus on products comes in. And if everything is fine, let's go ahead and close the project. Right? Okay, I'm fine. Everything went absolutely nice and I'm very happy. I am going to go ahead and close the project. Right, so again, progress, change, risk, every theme is going to come into picture. So when you can manage, when you can consider your entire vacation as a project, try articulating the same thing into transforming from on-prem data center to a cloud data center, building an application, building a database, or implementing some improvements or automating anything as part of your work. Everything can be considered as a project. Now, Prince2, Prince2, it addresses it. I mean, as we saw on a couple of slides back, it considers very important aspects of people management and brings in that particular flexibility. You can customize the way you want. You can apply it as part of your waterfall ways of working. You can apply it as part of agile. You can apply it anywhere. Now you can easily integrate this Prince2, not only Prince2, but project management, PMP as well, with any of them. If you are doing a project in terms of automation, probably DevOps will be a good enabler. Right? If you're focusing more in terms of optimizing your service management, ITIL along with Prince2 is definitely going to be very much beneficial. If you want to eliminate the wastage, Lean can be very much beneficial. Right? So, everywhere, if you want to bring in some, let's say, if you want to bring in the cultures of service integration and management, Prince2 and SIAM can be used. Right? So in this way, Prince2 is applicable or can be applied for any particular project. But most importantly, yes, the value add is more because of the simplicity it brings in, right? The value add is more in the European regions more than the other states, other geographies. But yes, it is globally applicable everywhere. Now, talking about the certification exam format for Prince2, right? Okay, so foundation is where you will be having 60 questions. I'm talking about the Prince2 only. Okay, foundation is a closed book exam where you will be having 60 questions, and that needs to be answered in 60 minutes. You need 60% to pass the exam, and there are no prerequisites for foundation. But for practitioner, yes, you can refer it's an open book exam where you can refer the Prince2 manual, and there will be one scenario. Based on that one scenario, there will be 70 questions that needs to be answered in 150 minutes, correct? 2.5 hours. In 2.5 hours, you need to answer 70 questions, easily doable. And yes, there is a prerequisite, unfortunately, for the practitioner. Either it can be a Prince2 foundation, or if you're already certified on CAPM or PMP, IPMA, or PMQ, PPQ governing bodies, or some of the other project management courses, yes, you can directly opt for Prince2 practitioner. It's not mandatory for you to do your foundation there again. But yes, Prince2 also has its agile version where it will help you to blend the cultures of Prince2 into the agile manner. One of the very good thing what I like about Prince2 Agile is it will tell you how you can tailor your agile environment for respective projects. there's a wonderful concept which is called as agilometer, right? That will help us to tailor the project environment in a very effective manner. Right, so that is a very good value add for Prince2 Agile, and the examination pattern is slightly different. Number of questions are less, else everything remains the same. 50 MCQs you will be having, and 55% is required for you to pass the exam. And yes, again, it is going to be a closed book. For practitioner team, it is going to be an open book exam where you'll be having 2.5 hours to answer 50 questions. Again, there'll be one scenario. Based on that one scenario, you will be having 50 questions there. Prerequisites, again, Prince2 or Prince2 Agile Foundation is definitely going to be good. Apart from that, yes, the CAPM or PMP, IPMA, PMQ, PPQ, all of these particular courses are also recognized as the foundational aspects. Now, just like how you have the other governing bodies as well, right? So even Prince2 has some validity that is for 3 years. Now this is a very good thing. What I liked about Prince2, or what I liked about PeopleCert, to be honest, right? So though your certifications are valid for 3 years, okay, it's not mandatory for you to write the same exam again and again. Right now, if you want to keep your certification always up to date,
A minute,
now
please.
let's.
1 minute. Huh?
So sorry. If you have any questions, probably we'll park it and take it up later, Ratish.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So team, yeah, the certification is valid for 3 years, right? And if you have to keep your certification up to date, you have 3 options. Option number 1 is to retake the same exam within the 3rd year, which I don't think so it would be much of value added. Okay, but option number 2 is a very much beneficial one. Let's say after even let's say that you are completing Prince2 Foundation this year in 24, so which means your certification will be valid till 27. Now let's say, only for the sake of example I'm saying, okay, let's say in 25 you will be doing a Prince2 practitioner, right? So all your certificates, including foundation, will be extended till 28. Right now, let's say after practitioner, don't think that I don't have anything to do. No, this is where I really liked about PeopleCert, where they've given you an option for you to enhance more and more knowledge. Rather than rewriting the same exam, now you can think of MSP, managing successful programs. Right now, you complete that in, let's say, 26, right? Including your Prince2 Foundation, Prince2 Practitioner, and MSP Foundation, or any other, the suite which what you see on the screen, right? Prince2 Agile, MSP, MOR. MSP is nothing but managing successful programs, management of risk, management of portfolio, management of value, right? So you can do any of these particular programs. So as and when you do the new certification, your existing certifications will always be extended. Right, so that is your second option. The third option is you can log the CPDs, just like how you have the PDUs in PMI, right? You can log the CPDs. But if you want to log CPDs as part of PeopleCert, you need to have a membership program as well. So you need to have a membership program. So every year you have to log 20 CPDs, and this needs to happen in 3 consecutive years. So which means another 3 years your certifications will be valid. Keep on doing this. It's going to be value added. So which option you would like to choose is absolutely your call. Right? So these are the benefits what you're going to get as part of Prince2. Let's understand about PMP as well. Let's understand about PMP as well. I'm so sorry if the slide is very low, but I'll try to zoom in so that it's going to be easier for all of you to see it as well. Now, team, if you see, even as part of PMP, you have the principles which you have. You have the principles. Again, these principles are going to protect you in every manner. Now, unlike Prince2, where you had 7 principles, PMP focuses on 12 principles, which is very universal again, right? Be a diligent, respectful, and caring steward, right? Put yourself into the shoes of a servant and try to understand everything, right? Create a collaborative environment, engage with the stakeholders effectively, focus on value, recognize, evaluate, and respond to the interactions, demonstrate the leadership behaviors, tailor based on the context, quality, then complexity, risk, adaptability, and resilience, and change, right? So these are the principles which is going to protect you in every manner. Now, just like how we discussed about the vacation as a project in Prince2, we can apply the same things over here as well. We can apply the same things over here. And we have the project performance domains as well, right? So just like how you have the knowledge areas as part of the themes or the practices of Prince2, you have the project performance domains, which emphasizes on stakeholders, team, development approach and life cycle, planning, project work, delivery, measurement, and uncertainty. Now, PMP is thinking a bit more about the bigger picture and saying that, it will tell you what is the system for value delivery, what should be your internal environment, all about what should be the external environment. And all of these particular pointers will be discussed during the aspects of tailoring in Prince2. It will be discussed in terms of Prince2, in tailoring in terms of Prince2. Right, so what does the PMP structure consist of? So PMP focuses on two core things. One is the standard for project management. That's where we'll be emphasizing more in terms of the principles which you will have to follow. And this particular standard is approved by ANSI, right? They are the ones who are approving the ANSI. I mean, the ANSI has approved this particular standard, and they have created a standard itself based on ANSI, and that's where that's where the principles comes in, and you need some guidance as part of your projects, right? So that's where PMP is focusing more in terms of the knowledge areas which you need to bring in, right? So this is where you need to bring in, you need to have some knowledge areas, and these performance domains will help us to gain that particular knowledge. I'll show you the difference between both of them in the next few minutes, but let me focus on these three things as well. Now, PMP team, it is going to validate the how deep your project management knowledge is. How deep your project management knowledge is. That's where the evaluation factor is highly on the business priorities, the processes, and the people involved. Now, when you consider the entire PMP structure, all of these particular factors will be evaluated on these three factors: people, processes, and business priorities. And the certification format for PMP, yes, 4 hours of exam, 230 minutes, 4 hours of exam duration, where you need to answer 180 questions. Now, unlike PMP, unlike Prince2, where you saw some passing percentage, right? So PMP is not giving you any kind of passing percentage as such, but once the exam is completed, you will be evaluated on, fair, well, good, excellent, on these particular parameters, right? These are the parameters which will be evaluated on. So that's where the PMP comes in. And yes, there are some prerequisites, unfortunately, here. So one of the very important one, yes, you need to have 36 months of experience in leading in working as part of your projects, and you need to have 35 hours of project management training or education, right? If not, at least CAPM certification. That is the very foundational aspect of PMP. Right. If you do not want to go for Prince2, then yes, team, PMP is a very good option for you. But yes, that has some prerequisites. And or if you have completed your high school or a diploma, then you need to have 60 months of experience in terms of leading the projects. And again, 35 learning hours that remains the same as well. Now, you don't have this much of tedious process as part of Prince2, but yes, in PMP, this is the process to get certified. This is how it goes. First and foremost thing, you complete your training, right? You complete your PMP training, and then you need to fill up the exam application. So after you complete everything, they'll ask you your educational qualification, your learning hours, and your experience as well. Everything you need to add it, and once you fill the application, it'll go for review. So the review is going to take up to 5 to 7 days, anywhere between up to 7 days, right? And in some cases, it may go for an audit as well. When I say audit, whatever the information you have filled in, let's say, for example, you take the training from Novel Vista, and they may get in touch with us to check if ABC person has done this particular training. If ABC person, they may get in touch with your colleagues who whose reference might have been given as well. Right, so that's how they may validate the things if it goes for audit. And once once your profile is approved, then you can go ahead and buy the voucher or buy the certification exam, and your validity for that particular certification exam will be for 1 year. And you need to invest a good amount of time to prepare as well. I would say 3 to 6 months, but I remember when I did my PMP exam, that was for 6th edition, I took about a good 9 to 10 months of time, right? I used to say that every day, 1 hour, 2 hours at least, let me start reading it. Right, so that is how I prepared. And yes, I already discussed about the examination pattern as well. 230 minutes where you need to answer 180 questions. And once you complete the exam, you will take, the results will be announced within 48 hours, right? Up to 48 hours. So that is the maximum. I've seen probably in 8 to 10 hours, the results are out, but that is the maximum amount of time. Yes, just like PRINCE2 PMP is also valid for 3 years, and you need to, within this 3 years, you need to earn 60 PDUs. And good thing over here is, team, you don't need to take any kind of membership to log your PDUs. But unfortunately, in PRINCE2, you need to buy you need to buy membership to log the CPDs. Now that has its own benefits, and this has its own benefits. If you keep on renewing the certification, your PMP will be valid. So if you want to do PGMP, that's program management. Again, for that also you need to keep on add the PDUs as well. Right, so there are two important criteria in terms of logging the PDUs. This is very much true for PRINCE2 as well, where we call it as CPDs. Now you can, at least in PMP, two important criteria. One is the educational PDUs. You need to have a minimum of 35 PDUs for education. You can consider if you have done any course of training, or you're attending any global events organized by PMP, or anything related to project management, local meetings where you might be having some chapters, India chapter, US chapter, or different state chapters as well. You can have it, and or you're doing a self-learning, formal, informal, all these things can be considered as a PDUs, right? For every 1 hour, you can consider 1 PDU. And you also have to give it back as well. That's where PMP mandates 25 maximum amount of giving back PDUs. That may include working as a practitioner, implementing whatever the project management you have learned as part of your work, right? You may want to create some contents. You may want to give a presentation about XYZ topics of project management, right? So, or you have volunteered with PMI as well, right? So all these things will help you in terms of getting the 25 points. Again, 1 R equals 1 PDU. This is the certification process of PRINCE2 as well as for PMP. I know I don't have much of time, but team, give me a few minutes. A very important aspect of how, if you can integrate both of these things, how it's going to be, how for you as a project manager, it's going to be value added, right? So I have considered risk as a practice here. Now, from PRINCE2 per se, I have considered a risk team or a risk practice. And in a very similar manner, in PMP, we have an uncertainty performance domain. Now, team, you see this as part of the PRINCE2 risk team or the risk practice. That's where, risk happens everywhere. Could be positive, could be negative. Let's not argue that PMP does it better, PRINCE2 does it better. Let's not argue on that particular aspect at all, right? So now both of them will help us in terms of identifying, assessing, controlling the activities and functions which involves the risk or uncertainty. Both of them, right? And then you see this as part of PRINCE2. Their focus is saying it says that, okay, let us understand what are the different types of risk what we have, how much of budget we have, how are we going to respond to that particular risk, who should be the risk owner, who should be the risk actionee, if the risk is exposed, how can we address it, how soon it may happen, when it can happen, what can happen, right, how it is going to impact the project, right? All of these particular things is wonderfully addressed as part of PRINCE2's risk team. Now, PMP is definitely no less as well. PMP has its now PMP also start thinking about the bigger picture and says that let's consider, risk happens everywhere. Could be in political factors, economic factors, technology, then social factors, legal factors, environmental factors, the pestle factors, what we call. Right? Risk happens everywhere. So PRINCE2 is considering, PMP is considering those are the uncertainty areas that needs to be addressed as part of the projects. So now PRINCE2 has a very simple approach in terms of managing the risk. It's all about identification. You identify if the risk is a high risk or a low risk, what is the cause, event, and effect. Easy, very simple manner to identify. Okay, assess what is the impact, how soon it is going to impact, how soon it is going to happen. So you can group the risk, you can individually categorize the risk into threats and opportunities, or you can group them together and evaluate the likelihood of the occurrence as well. Plan for the responses. You see that we have planning in both the scenarios, right? Be it for PMP, be it for PRINCE2 as well, right? So avoid, reduce, transfer, accept, and prepare contingency plans if the risk is negative. If the risk is an opportunity, exploit it, explore it, enhance it, and again, share, transfer, accept, and reject it. Right? So and implement everything. Risk owner and risk actually will be implementing and communicate the elements of risk to all of them who are involved as part of the project. See, I'm not going in detail. But you see this, it is very much structured. Now, PMP says that, okay, let's think about the bigger picture and let's consider the VUCA factors. Now, VUCA stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Right? That is where, you think about the bigger picture and try to address these particular risk factors by providing the responses. If it's a threat, avoid it, escalate it, transfer it, mitigate it, or accept it. If it's an opportunity, but if the risk is positive in nature, you can exploit it, you can escalate it, you can share, enhance, and accept it or reject it as well. So PRINCE2 gives you a very wonderful guidance as well. This is just only for the sake of example, but yes, how each and every principle of PRINCE2 is going to contribute to XYZ theme. You see this, we have certain wordings by saying that if it's about continued business justification, we focus in terms of identifying the impact and on the business case to ensure that continued business justification parameters are met. And that is going to result in what? Right. So similarly, you see the same for the other principles as well. And PMP is like, okay, as part of this particular domain, what are the outcomes you need to achieve? And how can you check for the results if you have achieved it or not? Right. See, both of them are helping you to address the project management ecosystem very well. Both of them are addressing the things very well. in a very similar manner, I've taken the plans theme of PRINCE2 and planning performance domain of PMP as well. Now, PRINCE2 has been very simple by saying that at the very beginning, you need to have a project plan wherein you will think about the bigger picture. Those project plans are going to be converted into a stage plans every day, every week, every month, whatever the stages you might have had defined, right? And based on that, you can come up with the team plans as well. Now, another good thing about PRINCE2 is it'll give you under what circumstances you can create an exception plan. What if your what if as part of your project, you're running out of the budget, you're running out of time, you're running out of resources? If any exception happens, how can we address it? That's where the stage plans comes in, which is a very good thing as part of PRINCE2, right? But yes, it's not like PMP doesn't consider it, but PMP considers what should be the development approaches, what should be the deliverables, what should be the requirements, market conditions, the legal factors, regulations, right? So all of them, both of them are in sync with each other. Both of them are in sync with each other, right? So if you see this is the PRINCE2's approach towards planning, right? Very structured, very simple. First and foremost thing, plan for the project, right? Then organize your work packages by understanding who are the people, resources, technologies, what you need to have. Then prepare the estimates for different aspects. Then prepare the schedule, prepare the budget, and document. Don't forget to analyze the risk. See how simple it is. And PMP says that, okay, this is where I will have to fast track. I will have to, if I am behind, I will have to fast track. How do I fast track it? PMP gives us that particular idea, or PMP gives us that particular insight about it. Right. So again, PMP says that, all right, so this is the structure. First and foremost thing, let's go ahead and define the product vision. That's going to help us to create the product roadmap. Then we can create the release plans, down the line iteration plans. You prioritize your work items and come up with a task. So this doesn't mean that PRINCE2 cannot do it. See, this PRINCE2 also can do it. Replace the stages with sprints, replace the stages with iterations. Right? So you want to do it parallelly, you want to do it across the ecosystem, the choice is absolutely yours. Right? So that is where, you have the planning performance domain as well. So this is how, team, if you can integrate the cultures of PRINCE2, if you can blend these two aspects in today's project management world, trust me, it is definitely going to add value for yourself and also for your organization as well. Right? So this is just an example I'm saying where you can leverage PRINCE2 principles with PMP performance domain. For example, we spoke about continued business justification as part of PRINCE2. Apply it with stakeholders. Right? We talk about learn from experience as part of PRINCE2, that you can apply with team performance domain or development approach and lifecycle performance domains. So in this manner, team, you can try to integrate, you can try to blend the cultures of both PRINCE2 and PMP together. Trust me, it is definitely going to add good amount of value. It is definitely going to add good amount of value. Right? So team, so this is where I would like to conclude, right? Yes, both the certifications are definitely going to be value added. No wonder there at all. But yes, the value add for PMP is more if you're supporting your projects, especially for the North Americas, the US region, right? And the value for PRINCE2 is going to be more if it is for Europe, Australia, and New Zealand, and the other parts as well.